All right, welcome back to LiveWire Film Reviews. This is Ray Gonzalez, and with me is Peter.
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. Just a lot of movies out. Let's get them out of the way. Let's go back to a movie that came out a couple of weeks ago. It's the return of one of the great female directors of our time.
Nancy Meyers?
Nancy fucking Meyers. Nancy gorgeous fucking Meyers, who just looks out for the white people.
Well, she's also a feminist at heart. Like, she just wants to ram it down your throat. That women are powerful too. And I get that, but you kind of hit the nail with the hammer on this one.
You think so?
A little bit. I mean, I'm all for empowering women. Like, it's sexy, but when it becomes annoying is kind of Nancy Meyers territory. Unfortunately.
The one thing that I always say about Nancy Meyers is just like she just looks out for privileged white people.
Yeah,
she really likes to say, hey, white people got
problems too.
Yeah, I mean sometimes they have to find a new cleaning lady.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have to find a new man. Change
get the dry cleaning done.
Yeah, find more expensive sheets for the bed.
Yeah.
And in this time, I'm really shocked as to say
the thread count is crazy.
It's pretty damn crazy. And I have to say, in this movie, we're talking about The Intern with Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway. Let me ask you, because I was so in shock when I was like watching it. I didn't like process it correctly. Is the drama and the focus of the climax in this movie the fact that Anne Hathaway has to pick a boss?
I think so, or realize her destiny at being the boss.
Really? Because it felt to me it's just like there's no tension, because it was like everybody's telling her.
It was like a self-discovery of a businesswoman.
Right. Because it's just everybody kept on telling her, like, you know what, they don't think you can be the boss, but why don't you pick your boss out of this list, and if you don't like it, that's cool too.
And
I was like,
it was CEOs, but do we get any female CEOs in that list?
No.
I'm pretty sure predominantly, I guess realistically, CEOs tend to be male.
In
the business world, it's dog eat dog, so I feel like
right
there are more male dogs out there than female.
It's just one of those things that I always felt about Nancy Meyers, is she just said there is no tension. There's nothing really to worry about. It's just light, breezy fun.
It's like really like cutesy wootsy, tongue in cheek, chic type of Starbucks. I ordered the wrong cup of coffee type ordeal.
That's like the Shyamalan twist. Oh my God,
I did get foam this time.
Oh no, God, no.
I said
said
low fat.
Where is the whipped cream in here? And this movie's no different. Let's go into the plot. Okay. Well, Robert De Niro is a widow that's really trying to find something to do with his life. He tries to spend time with his kids and with his grandkids. It's still not hitting it. He traveled, not hitting it right, and he realizes that the only time he's alive is when he's working, when he's out there on the grind. So then out of nowhere, I don't know how this all makes sense, but he finds his ad about old ass
citizen
internships, and he signs up, and of course he gets it. And not only does he get it, he becomes the intern to the boss, the big boss lady, Anne Hathaway.
Hey, I need you for 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Okay.
Remember a few weeks ago we talked about the senior intern program?
No.
Really? We had a whole big conversation about it.
We did? Okay, remind me, seniors in high school or college?
No. Seniors in life, older people.
Hold on, what?
I told you I felt like we needed to do an outreach program. You definitely seem to be liking the idea, so I set it in motion. It's gonna be great.
Hold, please. You're hiring senior citizen interns?
There's been a ton of research on this, and the results are actually incredible. I mean, imagine having an intern with a lifetime of experience as opposed to somebody who spent the last 4 years of their life playing beer pong.
And
Workaholic. I don't know.
Rich, workaholic, loving family.
Yeah, of course.
Got
a supportive stay-at-home husband.
who just
who she keeps in line. You know,
and he's just like, oh, honey, you work so hard.
You work for us,
and I support you.
We love you for that.
And Robert De Niro really admires her. And
this is also the tamest I've ever seen Robert De Niro. I mean, I've seen Robert De Niro in some like fierce roles, but this is the most like librarian type of character.
Really? I mean,
he was so tame. He was just kind of like
he was.
I love my job. I think she's like.
He
the
was
best
really
boss ever.
Like I swear his swag meter was on point.
It was though. He
was literally on cruise control the whole way.
He was really like mellow and.
Oh, thanks, but you don't have to. I can open the door. Okay, so this shouldn't take more than an hour, but if you can't stay here, I'll call Becky, and then she'll find you, and then you can just pull up.
Don't worry, I'll be here.
I think I forgot to eat today.
Should I pick you up some sushi?
No, I eat too much mercury. I'll be fine. I'm good. I'm actually kind of nauseous, so...
Had his handkerchiefs, had his briefcase, always wear a suit and tie, like...
See, this movie's
old
also...
school swag, too.
This movie is also about, like, how men back in the days, that was real men. We don't get those
company men, right?
We don't get those men anymore. Now it's all hipster style, that they don't really care about females. They don't even talk to them. They're too busy texting, tweeting at them, but they don't talk to them one-on-one.
They're too scared with the like social interaction with them.
Right?
Like, should I send a tweet? Should I email? Like, it's like, why don't you just talk to her? Like, I never thought of that. Like, really?
And
have we come that desensitized as far as like
I guess so
interaction?
I guess so. And he comes into this business and everybody's just asking advice from him. He knows how to handle this business from top to bottom, like overnight. He knows exactly what he needs to do when he does it. And everybody is like, all the guys are there, think he's the coolest. Oh, I like your suit. Oh my gosh, a handkerchief. What's that about? A briefcase? Dang, that's kind of fly. Like, I don't know where, like Robert De Niro's the ultimate hipster.
I need to go to the data on customer purchase patterns. Let Ben take a look at that too. Actually, let Ben take a look at that first. Okay. Don't worry, Becky, backup's good. Ping me when Cameron gets in.
Becky?
I've been here 9 months, Ben, and she's never asked me to take a look at anything for her, ever, okay?
I hear you. That's frustrating.
I mean, totally. I graduated from Penn. I have a business degree, but I never seem to do anything right around here. And you're like 50 years older than me, and you're deaf.
I happen to think you do a lot of things right.
You do so much.
I know that. But she doesn't. I mean, I bust my ass for her 14 hours a day, and she never notices. Oh my God. I hate girls who cry at work.
How about if you, just as an experiment, try letting me help you? A lot of your stress is going to be lifted once you're out from under this mountain of work. And maybe you should consider leaving here at a normal hour once in a while. See your friends, have a little fun.
I can offer my assistance in this area. I would love to, actually.
I just don't want her to think that I can't do my job and I need an intern to help me.
Okay, you're not going to want to hear this, but I heard women who sleep less than 7 hours a night gain 38% more weight than women who sleep more than 7 hours a night.
What? I leave here at 11, I get back at 7, I sleep like 5 hours a night, and now I'm getting...
Next thing, it almost felt like everybody was just ready to just gargle on his balls. Like, after a while, like... Balls. It was just, salty, but so much knowledge.
Including Anne Hathaway. I saw the way she looked at him in a couple of seats.
Yeah, that's another thing that I wanted to bring up. This relationship was meant to be something like a father-daughter thing. But there were moments where like
you could allude where they could have had an opportunity of having an affair.
Yeah, and it was just
low key.
Kind of a little.
But you know what? The thing is that he keeps it in line where he's like, I thought you said you're gonna sit over there and
he's like
not lay down next to me.
He's like, whoa, bitch,
in your bathrobe.
This is a Nancy Meyers movie. Yeah. You better. We keep it tame around here. She's like, I'm trying to bring out a little bit of this Catwoman out of me. He's like, nah.
I like old pussy. Thank you very much.
I like
it nice and dry.
And here comes Renee Russo.
Yeah. She was looking pretty hot though. If she was trying to get that demographic of senior citizen, like she was looking pretty like she was a hot mommy as far as like senior citizens go.
I'm trying to remember how old is Renee Russo because I'm like. Robert De Niro is like in his 70s, and Renee Russo, I swear, she's got to be like in her 50s.
Like late 50s, like early 60s, and God bless her, she still looks
great. I mean, just last year, she was taking it from Jake Gyllenhaal, you know, like now.
She was what?
Yeah, Nightcrawler.
Oh, yeah.
And now we got her on Robert De Niro.
She was also Thor's mom, though.
Yeah, and Thor looks old as fuck.
I'm Fiona, the house masseuse.
Hi, Fiona. Ben.
Hey. Does that feel okay?
It feels great, actually. Thank you.
It's a little bit tight, Ben.
I haven't sat at a desk for a while. My body's not used to it.
Oh, I get it. Plus, they say sitting is the new smoking. I spotted you in the lunchroom. I wondered who you were.
Did you? Oh.
And someone told me you were an intern. That's pretty cool of you to do this.
Oh, it's a brave new world. Thought I'd jump in and see what it's all about.
I'm constantly amazed at what they do here. Love being a part of it. How's that been?
Well, that's boom, boy.
Good.
Jason.
Okay, good.
Here you go.
Is that better?
Oh,
oh, how's that?
Wait.
That was nice to meet you, Ben. Yeah. Love that there's another oldie but goodie here.
Nice to meet you.
See you later?
Love to.
Me too.
You're not as old as I thought you were.
Right. It's just, and her job, like her character is really just there to give Robert De Niro
service.
She's
a masseuse. She wants to put hands on him.
Literally.
And you know, like, let him pop a boner or two every now and again.
This is a clothing company that really like doesn't make any type of sense in the real world. You know, like
it's supposed to be a startup company, but this shit looks like it took off already. You know what I mean?
Like it looked like Forever 21.
We have done so much in our 5 years. It's like what you've done in 5 years. It looks like you've been seasoned enough to like carry on a successful franchise. And
usually a startup company, 5 years, I would expect them on Shark Tank. Like,
you know what I mean? Like,
trying to get money.
They already got a factory. You know, they have their office and then they got their factory. I mean,
but this is how Nancy Meyers thinks. These, you know, white people do.
It's white people problems. Like, I get it. Like, I thought it was funny how you're like, before I went to see it, you're like, how I asked you what you think about it. It's like, it's fun. It's white people problems. It's like, I really didn't quite get it until I saw it, and I was like,
it's like
man,
so breezy. And
I wish I had these problems.
Right. Like these are.
Like, I want a cool internship. I want a cool startup company.
You know what I mean? Like I wish.
At the age of 25, I
wish that the struggle of my day is to pick my own boss, and then at the end of the day, just say, nah, I'm good. You know, like I'm straight. Yeah. I don't need that.
These are nice problems.
Nice problems to have. But wait, there's one problem in the movie. That
what is it?
There is this problem that Robert De Niro finds out.
An affair?
An affair.
By the effeminate husband? I could not take his care. You know what? I recognize the actor.
He's from
Workaholics, but then I also remember him being the closeted gay boyfriend in Top 5. And I thought he was so bad in here, but he even tops it off in this. I thought he was like the worst thing in this movie. And to be honest, the ending was so lame. I wanted to scream in the theater, grow some balls.
That shit was
he comes in with the one tear and was like, don't do it. Don't do it because of me.
I know that shit was so.
I was like, oh my. And then you know what's crazy is that Anne Hathaway gets her cake and eats it too. She doesn't pick a CEO. She keeps her freaking husband who cheated on her with another mommy.
That dude was just like, I got this shit. Like, I got out. I made it out.
He did, man.
He got away with it so clean.
I mean, if it was like folks of color, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like any black woman, any Latina woman would not take that shit. Nah. Pack your shit. Get the fuck out, you piece of shit.
Seriously.
I cut your nuts off.
I don't need your ass to be independent.
He should have got his nuts cut off too, because he was acting such a bitch. I'm sorry. I hated this character, and it really brought the ending down for me. And I was just like, wow. Well, I could have liked this movie a little bit.
I could have, you know, because the swagginess that Robert De Niro was bringing was fun.
Robert De Niro was cool. Like,
it was so
the thing
corny.
Is, like you said, he was like doing this in his sleep. Like he was just like, I'm gonna breeze through this shit.
It was so corny. Like the script is just so corny, and everybody's just pretty much kissing Robert De Niro's ass while Robert De Niro's like, well, it ain't no thing. It's just good to be Robert De Niro. Yeah. You know, like, and Anne Hathaway's got these like we said, white people problems that you just cannot relate to unless, you know, you're the wife of a Fortune 500 CEO, man. Like,
right.
You know, and it just didn't hit it for me. And then the one thing that I had to add, who the fuck casted that little girl? Like, that little girl, I never want to see her in a damn movie again.
Was she annoying?
Holy shit.
Yeah. My God. I think she was just trying to, like, clone her mom. Like, but, like, I think she was, like, reaching a little bit.
And everybody's just like, oh,
she's so cute.
Oh, she's so
adorable. Cute at being a spoiled little brat when she grows up. Everything is given to her. Her dad plays Ariel. I couldn't take the dad. I'm sorry.
You really did.
He could have played. He could have played the prince. He could have played the prince. Did he really have to say, "Oh, it's never my turn"?
I'm Ariel.
Or like, it's always my turn. Or so I'm Ariel.
He is such a great father.
He just Gasmos and all that. He knew the freaking words to freaking Little Mermaid. I couldn't stand him.
It was.
I'm sorry. I'm all about, like, you know, empowering women, successful business women. But this movie is a feminist movie, like, to the hardcore, you know, third
It's a fantasy.
power.
It's a fantasy, though.
You know what I mean?
It's a fantasy. It's what certain...
I respect women. I really do. But
I won't say all women.
Overdoing it.
I won't say all women are like this or want this. You know, like, a lot of women aren't like this. I mean, most of the women I know aren't like this. So, like... I mean, I know a couple women that are like this, you know, or that wishes life was like this, but...
And more power to them. Like, man, if you make that money, Mom, but...
This is a fantasy through and through. You know, like, no flaws, no criticism in life. Other, you know, like, the one criticism, the husband cheating, he gets fly, like, you know...
He gets away with it.
He gets away with it, and it was just like, I got lost. But now I'm found.
I know. We really could have brought it to a musical. I know, we broke it to a musical on that one.
Found, and I love you.
Yeah.
You know, and out of nowhere,
with the one tear. Yeah. Oh, man.
And then, you know, like,
I can't stand that ending.
I hate having to spoil movies and stuff. But, like, what does Robert De Niro do after this shit? He goes and does some yoga.
Does some yoga shit. Yeah, oh my gosh, you're right.
But, like, I don't know why.
Let me center my chi. And then we cut to, like, fade to black credits. Are we really gonna do that?
It's just like,
was
why?
that supposed to be satisfying? Was that the bookend? Were you were you supposed to look at your significant other and be like, wow, I love this movie.
I was just confused.
It's kind of funny.
What would you give it?
I'm talking all this shit, but I think I would give it, like, 2? Just like a 2. Like, like, it killed time for me. It was cute, you know. Like, the thing is that I respect Robert De Niro's performance in here. I think he brings the swag, like you said. Like, he needed to be a man. Someone needed to be a man. Nobody was a man in this movie. No one was a realistic man. Nobody, except for Robert De Niro.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he gave you a representation of what men used to be, what company men, hardworking, you know, middle class, you know, like, you know, his strong men, you know, like
that looked after their
his
females.
Wife was she was like a middle school teacher or something like that.
Yeah, something
like that. You know, it just seemed like a realistic view. I'm not saying, like, okay, this is like 2015, we can't have women like Anne Hathaway, because we have plenty of women like this. But it was just so
I feel
it was
you.
overblown.
No, I
you know
feel
what I
you.
mean?
That's what I mean. Like, that's what I feel like.
Like, it wanted to beat the audience's head over, like, women now. Like,
that's why I feel like this is like a fantasy. Because, you know, not even real women that are hardworking like this are like this.
Yeah.
You know, and they would take this kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know, and it just didn't. I just didn't believe it. And Nancy Meyers doesn't know how to make things believable. Now, I like Something's Gotta Give.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was nice, breezy fun. A lot of people like Diane Keaton's performance. She's cool. You know what I mean? Like a woman with menopause being, you know, doing her menopause thing. And
what was the last movie? Is Complicated?
Yeah.
I thought that was a little bit too long. You know what I mean?
No, that movie was definitely not great. I liked it. It was a lot of fun. It dragged.
My parents loved it.
Yeah, it dragged.
But that's
and
the
I loved
key demographic. It was for the audience, you know what I mean?
And Alec Baldwin's a lot of fun in that movie. Now, this movie, you know, they put it down to Robert De Niro. And let's not forget Anne Hathaway's good.
I'm not saying...
You know, she has a lot of personality, a lot of charisma, and she's very charming. And they both have a lot of good chemistry, and you go, wow, I really would like to see a movie where she's the actual daughter or granddaughter for Robert De Niro. That would have been that, you know, because they have such good chemistry.
They do.
Now everything around this movie around them is just
terrible.
It's just a piece of shit.
Yes.
You know,
Unbelievable.
Of a fantasy, unbelievable of how like guys don't know how to talk to women, so Robert De Niro has to teach them. Robert De Niro teaches them how to dress, how to talk, how to speak, what briefcases to use. He uses like old school calculators while they're on their iPads, and then by the end of the movie, I swear to God, didn't that fat guy literally start dressing like Robert De Niro?
He did.
Like, I was like, oh my.
Because he put him up. He's just like, you know, he probably didn't have any clothes, so he just started dressing.
And there was no conflict in this movie. There's nothing to
chew on.
Right. So at the end of the movie, the
biggest conflict, like you said, was her choosing a CEO.
Right, and then you know, it's just
and she doesn't even choose a CEO. She comes to realize
nobody can do what I can do.
Right.
Like, okay, well,
why did we have the movie?
Right, like why?
In retrospect, why did we care?
Exactly. So in all,
but it was cute. It was, you know what's funny? I came out of the theater, I looked at Cynthia, and I was like, "Hey, do you like it?" I liked it. Yeah, it was cute. It was cutesy wootsy. I could not stand.
I didn't feel the same way.
Husband,
but
I can't stand the husband. She was laughing at all my jokes.
I actually didn't mind. I didn't mind the guy.
You didn't? I have a very big problem with someone that wants to be Ariel. He doesn't have to be Ariel.
But I'm gonna be more critical with the movie. I'm gonna give it a 1.5. I don't think it's even white people's. You know, it shouldn't take their time. They shouldn't waste their time with this movie. Like, unless you live in the Palisades, you're not gonna relate. And if you're looking for something light and breezy, I'm sure there's a lot of other things to watch.
This is really fluffy. This
is like marshmallow. This is marshmallow.
Yeah.
Through and through. So yeah,
grab yourself a Starbucks instead.
Right. It's the equivalent of a caramel frappuccino.
Yes, it is.
You know?
I love them.
All right, let's move on.
Right.
Let's move on. Now,
something you could bite into.
This next movie is something completely different.
This is like stark contrast.
This is like a piece of charcoal compared
when you edit this, can you get a piece of the freaking music in this movie? Because it was some.
It was tension filled. It was tension.
It was tense. It was so like.
Yeah, it was just. Heart beating.
Yeah.
Heart beating.
It's kind of scary.
It was very scary.
The score of the film was just like really gritty, and like just like these really like, I don't know, these tones and really dark and edgy and
very
like,
bassy.
Yeah.
Very brooding, very dark.
Yes.
We're talking about Denis Villeneuve's new film. It's called Sicario. Sicario. You know,
which means hitman
in Mexico. You know, and it stars Emily Blunt, Josh Brolin, and Benicio del Toro, and the three have never been better. You know,
top of the game.
All
three.
Yeah, definitely. And
Benicio, especially.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are already talking about awards consideration for Benicio, and I wouldn't expect anything less. Now this movie, let me see. It starts off with Emily Blunt's character. Now, let's see. What was her character's name? Let me Let me go into it.
She was Kate Macer?
Kate Macer. And Kate Macer is in the FBI weapons and tactics team, and she's the one that knocks down doors of drug dealers and takes them out and, you know, gets rid of them.
She wants convictions. Right. She wants them off the streets. She's by the book.
But change hasn't happened. You know, she hasn't made a dent in the world. And then one day she comes up with this house that's literally littered with dead bodies all around it.
Inside the walls. Smelling
some funky ass shit. Next thing you know, a bomb goes off right outside. Boom!
This is just the opening scene, guys.
And she's just like, what the fuck is happening? And then from there on in the movie, all she does is say, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, like, she's just like in the dark the entire time.
Right.
She's on the thrill ride. She doesn't even know what's next.
So Josh Brolin is Matt Graver, and he's somebody that works for somebody. We don't know. And we like to, and, you know, they want to keep
CIA,
it that way. CIA, maybe.
Department of Justice advisor,
you know,
whatever. Delta.
Right.
I don't know.
He doesn't.
Some shit.
You know, he comes around here, you know, real swagged out with his flip flops. You know, acting like he don't give a shit. You know, acting like his shit don't stink. And he recruits Kate Macer, who also recruits his partner. Now his partner was Reggie, right? Yeah. Reggie, played by Daniel Kaluuya. Really good actor. Very impressed. And
hers.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and she recruits her partner.
He was really good.
And he was really good. Daniel Kaluuya. And with them, we meet Alejandro Gilik, who's played by Benicio del Toro, and we do not know where he comes from.
No. And literally, this guy is like a mystery the entire film. And you have to like keep up with his movements. And his tactics.
Every time Emily Blunt's character tries to get to know him a little more, tries to find out who he is, he just pretty much says, like, well, you know, better not think about so much about me. Why don't you think about the task at hand? You better stay focused, because you're not going to be the same after this.
Yeah.
You
well,
know?
He says something about, like, that's like asking how a clock works.
Right.
Just watch the time or something like that. Like,
yeah.
It was just like some like really low key lines, like so like badass.
Yeah. And later on, we discover that, you know, this was supposed to be something that they just watching and learning, and from the background.
It almost felt like it was like a training day in Juarez, Mexico.
Little did she know, or she finds out, that she's going to the underbelly of the drug world, doing things that the government's not allowed to do, and they're the ones in the shadows making things happen and actually getting results.
Making noise, as they say.
Right, but not by the book. And Emily Blunt is not okay with that. She's not used to that world. She's not used to a world without rules, without laws. And it starts shattering her world in a way, and she doesn't know who to trust, who to believe, what to believe, where's she going.
But she's interested in finding out,
and she won't stop until she gets to the bottom of it.
Get your service weapon out. Gun left.
What are the rules here? Stay in your vehicle. You can do what they do. If they get out, you get out. Move!
Wait. Get out of the car.
Jesus Christ.
Móvete! Señor, tus manos! Don't move! Móvete!
No. Compas. Suelte la pistola. Tírela. Pregunta, paisanos. ¿Quieren morir?
Now, how did you feel about this movie?
Man, it was intense. Like, you know what's crazy? But it is a slow burn. But you are kept interested the entire film.
It is.
You're almost like in the perspective of Emily Blunt, where you yourself don't quite know who's doing what's going on with the investigation. Is there investigation?
Right.
What kind of interrogation are they doing? What is this war? Is this,
what are the consequences and the actions that they're taking?
I mean? Right.
Yes. what are the consequences and the actions that they're taking.
And you're just along for the ride, and you want to just like, you're like barely scratching the surface, and you just want to dig in deep. And the deeper and deeper you go, the more you don't want to know.
Right.
The more where you're like, wow, like, who can I trust?
And you know what? The movie's like 2 hours, right? I wanted an extra hour.
Yeah.
I wanted an extra hour. I wanted more.
Yeah, me too.
I so much wanted more. Because I was just sucked into that world, and those characters were so interesting. Everybody, I mean, even the supporting characters have great moments. This dude from, what's his face from Jeffrey Donovan from that.
Oh yeah,
what show is he from? Like that show on USA that Burn Notice.
Yeah, he was like actually like kind of like brash comic relief,
right?
Making like racial jokes and whatnot, but you were okay to laugh with it because it just set the tone of the film and actually set the tone of the scene. The whole thing about fireworks in the background, those aren't fireworks, you know, like these. I just like the way they you know, they handled those bodies, you know, like when you see the grotesqueness, grotesque like actions of the cartels, like they give you everything.
There's so much in this movie to love. Denis Villeneuve like directed it. It was his next film after doing Prisoners and Enemy, two great movies from the year before that, back to back, and he's not stopping. And he recruited again Roger Deakins, who was the cinematographer for Prisoners. And you know, looks gorgeous. So completely different from Prisoners. This is when you know a cinematographer is a master at his game. So completely different, and yet so profound in the vision and the masterwork and in the shots and the scope of it all. And the takes are so tense that these two collaborators are amazing. They're doing Blade Runner 2 next. And I was just, I usually don't like these sequels and prequels of, you know,
that should be interesting,
of old classics. Like, I didn't even like Prometheus from Ridley Scott, and it was Ridley Scott who came back, and I didn't like that. But you know, with these two working together, it's just beautiful. It's just master. It's art, and I cannot wait to see what they're gonna do with that one, because I don't believe this guy is capable of doing bullshit. You know,
he gives you like really gritty, like like you said, like the underbelly. Like this is like dangerous territory. Like if it weren't a film, it feels real. Like this feels like things happen in like every day.
Now let's go into the characters, because like this is another quality that Villeneuve does very well. He knows how to work and bring the best out in actors. He has brought one of the best Jake Gyllenhaal performances, one of the best Hugh Jackman performances,
Terrence Howard.
You know, Terrence Howard, Viola Davis performances. Man, even Paul Dano.
He even knows to like give like these like supporting cast like something.
You even got a surprise little cameo from John Bernthal. Yeah, he has a small scene. I won't say what it is, but spectacular scene. You know, and one of the things that I really love about Villeneuve is that his movies are gritty, his movies are tense and violent, both Prisoners and this one, but they are not gory. They are not excessively violent. They let the mind, your imagination, do the work, so you start fearing everything. Those interrogation scenes with Benicio,
it's off camera. You only hear the sounds. And with a shot of the drain. Just the thing is that he's so keen on like detail, like the wide shots, the wide angles. Right, you know, when they're putting their gear on and like you can see like the sunset. You know what I mean? Like that shot in the desert.
Oh yeah,
it was like really like it's so good.
It's amazing.
Like
now, like I said, Villeneuve knows how to work with his actors, and let's talk about the top three. Now, these are I think that this is one of Josh Brolin's best since No Country for Old Men and Milk, easily, and he's been on a roll, and this one is gonna put him on the map yet again. People are gonna say, I remember why Josh Brolin was hot. You know, how'd you feel about Josh Brolin?
Josh Brolin, the thing is that he has this kind of like this thing about his characters, like you want to trust him, but you don't want to trust him too. But you know you can't trust him entirely. Like you know that this guy is up to no good, but you feel like he has integrity.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I will say this now, and the character leads to one of my few flaws in this movie, is Emily Blunt's character. Now
she was good though. I mean, out of the
performance was top notch, no doubt about it. It's just, how many times are you gonna be gullible and keep acting the same way over and over again? You know, like she goes, "We're not supposed to do this," and he's like, "You know what? You need to learn. You need to pay attention. You need to do this. Like, stay serious, stay on point." Now, she doesn't, you know, she keeps her mouth shut. Then another situation happens and she doesn't listen.
She disregards what he says.
She disregards what he says, and then she learns
consequences.
Then she learns the hard way. But then she keeps asking, "We're not supposed to do this. We're not supposed." How many times do you have to understand that you're dealing with the people in the shadows?
Yeah.
And you got to roll with it.
You're dealing with rogue, like off the grid, like.
I understand. You know, she's the audience. You know, she's the avatar for the audience. She's supposed to, you know, like, we're supposed to find things out with her. But it got to a point that I got exhausted by her actions, to be honest. And I was just
you feel like she was questioning it too much, and if she really had these doubts, she could have pulled out any time. It
got to the point of whining. That, like, if you're going to keep whining, you know, the partner kept on saying, "Well, you know, we can just leave. We can just leave." You know, and she's like, "No, but I can't leave. We're not supposed to do this, but I can't leave." Like, make a decision, bitch. You know, and if you're gonna keep making a decision, stop messing up their plans.
I really felt like when she got recruited, the intentions were to bring down the people that were responsible for that bombing.
Right.
And she went in with the intentions of, okay, we're gonna bring justice.
Right.
But what they're talking about is more like street justice. You know what I mean?
You sound like Denzel right now.
You
sound like Ethan Hawke right now.
This was like Training Day in Mexico.
You know, God willing.
You know what I mean?
Well, now that's my problem that I have with Emily Blunt's character, and here's one of the things. Now we're gonna lead on to the real star of the show, and it's Benicio del Toro. Yeah. Now, here's one thing that I found it to be a trip in the movie. In the beginning of the movie, or throughout the movie, and the promotion and everything, it almost felt like, you know, she's uncovering something. You know, the trailers kind of mislead you a little bit. And then close to the end of the film, you realize Emily Blunt's not the main character of this movie. It's Benicio del Toro who's the main character of this movie.
Yeah, because he has the most conflict.
Right.
You know,
and the story is really
selling scores.
The story is really about him. Everything. And you come to find that out in the last 30 minutes. And once those last 30 minutes come in, it hits the ground running. It goes and it goes and it doesn't stop. And you go, whoa.
It really doesn't hold any punches.
No, it does not.
And it comes to a scene at the very end when he basically meets, you know, the boss. The
big boss, yeah.
Where he does things where I've never seen on camera. You know, like the scene, you know what scene I'm talking about.
Right. The climactic ending.
Where he could have, like, you know, the other three people at the table were excused, and the punishing was the person at the end of the table. But the thing is that it wasn't like that. He was out for blood.
This character is a wolf. This character is a monster, a controlled monster. And he is so in control the whole time. At the big action sequence when they're infiltrating a drug lord's brother from Juarez back into the U.S.
Yeah, in Arizona, I think.
That precision, and Benicio del Toro is at the whole time controlled, collected. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yep.
He used to be a prosecutor, a lawyer.
Right.
You know.
Was that a story though? Like, was that like? Do you really believe that he was?
I do.
Okay.
I do, and I believe that
because we come to find out to know who he is.
Right, and who and we slowly find out what turned him into this.
Okay.
You know, and that's when you figure out Emily Blunt is kind of like the Ellen Page in Inception. Okay. You know what I mean? She's not the main character. Right. We were just led to believe she's the main character. It's Benicio's character. And he is definitely, next to Josh Brolin, the most interesting character.
Yeah.
That people are already saying they're doing a spinoff.
Okay.
A spin-off, a sequel to Sicario.
Because this year, out of all the movies I've seen, this character by far has been my favorite on film.
Yeah. He cuts, he pulls no punches.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he just, the dialogue is supreme for him, and Benicio delivers it with, you know,
with gusto.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Even like certain lines that I was just like, oh crap.
I'm telling you
when he's about to interrogate the dude, and then he's just like, "Tu vas a conocer a Dios en tierra Yankee." I was like, "What shit?" Like, oh no.
Like, and I had no idea what he was gonna do.
Right.
I mean, I saw
something about him. He's so scary. Like when he's scaring you and about to interrogate you, he goes into your personal space. He gets real close for some reason, and I was like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Are you pulling your pants down or something? But no, it's just that he likes to intimidate you by taking away your personal space, and at first I was confused, but then I got more scared of this character. I mean, this is a kind of motherfucker that makes you afraid. He tortures you with wet willies, nigga. Like
he does.
He tortures you with wet willies.
I was scared of that wet willie. I thought that was lethal. I was like, oh man.
I was like, leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
Stop. You know.
Yeah.
This movie is all around, like I said, a great time in the theater. You know, it's a touchy subject handled with a lot of care.
Yeah. Very pertinent subject, very political subject, very, you know...
it's going to have a lot of people talking.
Yeah.
It's going to have a lot of people talking. And a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun with it. They're going to talk about this movie. And they're going to walk away, you know, in awe of these performances. And it's a must-watch. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5. What would you give it?
Man.
Not again.
Not again. Oh man, it was one of my favorites. I'm gonna have to say that I'm gonna give it a 5.
A 5.
Perfect 5 because I really couldn't see a flaw. I mean, I know that you saw a flaw with Emily Blunt's character and how it was misleading in the trailers of how she is supposed to be the central, almost like the heroine.
It's not so much.
She's like a really strong, and she really is strong, but to a point. She's
right.
very vulnerable.
She is very vulnerable.
She really slips up when she doesn't have to. Like she could play it smart. Like that scene we're talking about.
Yes, absolutely.
She really could have escaped that. Like I feel like she really didn't have
if she would have just listened and did what she was told, but she kept on wanting to find out more and more and more. She got a little too anxious, you know, and like I said though, it's just like she kept on complaining throughout the whole movie, like this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. That I go, okay, I understand, but by this point you should already know that this is what we're getting into. That's the only flaw that I was just like, okay, I'm starting to lose belief in her character. Right. She can, you know, like she should already know. If she's really a smart woman, she would stop asking these questions and, you know, like.
But
and
I
really
just
understand.
really thought that this film was filled with like tension.
It was
like really like edge of your seat, like
yes.
really, really edge of your seat moments of like uncertainty.
Absolutely.
And just kind of like it's very dark, but it's also very hard to watch in some scenes. Like it's very gritty and very grimy. So I really do have to say that I would give it a strong, well-deserved 5 stars.
I'm mad at your 5. I'm mad at your 5.
Everybody just go with it, and there's no punches pulled. Like these actors play their roles to the T.
I hope that this movie's not forgotten come Oscar time.
Right.
I would even be happy with Josh Brolin getting a Best Supporting Actor nod, because he was just so good.
I really do think that Benicio does deserve
Best Actor.
Right.
So far, when it comes to acting, I haven't seen, or I can't remember right now, somebody who deserves that best actor. Now, do you? I can't right now.
Not this time. I mean, again, I haven't seen The Revenant, so I feel like that might change.
Most definitely. But we'll see. Just as long as this movie ain't forgotten. So that's the show we got for today. If you need to contact us, my Twitter name is RAYREIMK. Peter?
It's PETEYMK.
And catch us next time.
State Department is pulling an agent that specializes in cartel activity.
FBI!
You'll be part of the team.
What's our objective?
To dramatically overreact.
You're not American. Who do you work for now?
I go where I'm sent. Welcome to Juarez.
Somebody say a prayer for me. If they kill me on Tuesday, bury me on Wednesday, mourn for me Thursday.
Gotta be careful around these people.
You gotta let me go.
I just want to know what I'm getting into.
You saw things you shouldn't have seen.
He's a hitman.
He works for anyone who will turn him loose.
Speak the truth, even if they crucify me. Free my soul, even if they chain my body. Look at God, ain't nowhere to go. Beware those prophets that touch a leg before they touch a soul.
Nothing will make sense to your American youth.
Then they gotta let me go. Then they gotta let me go.
But in the end, you will understand.